everyone, I'm Tammy Mack and welcome to my channel where I interview Canadian entrepreneurs and share information on Canadian made things. Today I had the honor and such enjoyment interviewing Sherrie, the owner and founder of Simply Natural Canada, a company where she sells not only natural products, but she puts in the benefit and the importance of more sustainable and natural packaging. Not only does she make amazing products, which I have tried and can vouch for to the moon and back, but she has so many other amazing products and ideas behind how you can use the product beyond its initial purpose, as well as she has incorporated other Canadian entrepreneurial products on her website, all of whom are, one, like I said, Canadian, and two, have natural products as well as sustainable, and just have the same belief and mindset and passion to saving the environment and so much more. So please give a warm welcome along with me and welcome Sherrie.
Awesome. So Sherrie, there we go. So Sherrie, I'm just so happy that you took some time out of your evening to spend with me. So thank you and welcome.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So before we dive into what Simply Natural Canada is and all about, I just would love to learn a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and just about who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I live in Peterborough, Ontario. I actually grew up on a farm about 45 minutes away from where I currently live. I love the city that we live in. It's has lots of green space and fresh water, lots of lakes. We're actually right in the heart of cottage country. So even though it's a city that I'm living in, I have a nice big park in my backyard. We're also close to a local college. It has a great trail system. So I find living so close and within nature is wonderful. It's such an inspiration for running a natural products business.
Yeah. Are you from Peterborough?
No, about 45 minutes away in a small little town called Salmon Falls.
Yeah.
And so it was more of a rural setting. So growing up, Peterborough was a big city. But it's nice, like 5 minutes away, you're right in the country.
Yeah.
We actually have a cottage that is an hour and a half away from the house. So we're actually right in cottage country, but it's such a large area of our part of Ontario that's classified as cottage country. So lots of opportunities to go canoeing, kayaking, and things of that nature too. Lots of hiking, a lot of provincial parks.
Yeah, so you love the outdoors and you're active outside, and then you have your cottage. So it's your getaway, but doesn't have to be, it's not that far. So that's nice.
No, it's perfect. It's this little cabin in the lakeside cabin in the woods, and it's great. Must say that we are connected with internet. So sometimes I do some work up there, but it gives me a chance to get away, which works out really nice. And we, face west, so we've got like a beautiful sunset, and it's just like extends the day. So I get up early when I can, go kayaking or do a little bit of work in the morning, and then I have the rest of the day to enjoy.
Nice. So do you have like kids or fur babies or family nearby?
Yeah, we've got 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl, and I've got actually 2 grandsons as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's nice family, and they're all fairly close. I do have our daughter, she's in Calgary, so she's not too close, but the rest of them are in the province of Ontario. I lost the hearing there. I couldn't hear you.
I just said that she's closer to you than me, or closer to me than you.
Yeah. Now, whereabouts are you located?
So I live in Hinton, Alberta, so I'm very, very close to Jasper.
Okay. Yes, we were
Yeah,
at
right in the
Jasper about 3 years ago. It was beautiful. Just absolutely loved
yeah,
it. I'm just dying to go back.
yeah,
Beautiful part of the
definitely.
country too.
So yes, it's breathtaking.
It
Yeah,
is, like, it's just do you ever get tired of looking at mountains?
never.
Yeah.
No, grow up in the mountains. I've lived here for 10 years. Every
Your sound keeps going out. I can't hear you there. So I didn't hear what you said.
is that a little bit better.
Yeah, I think so.
I wonder if the internet's just a little bit cut in and out.
It could be. Yeah, sometimes the signals aren't so good.
Yeah. No, I was just saying I didn't grow up in the mountains. So I don't take them for granted. I love every time I see them, I just am in awe. Mhm. Can you
Spectacular.
still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I'll start waving like this if I can.
Okay, sounds good. So, for the life that you live, you touched a little bit on like where you live and how that influences you. So, let's dive in a little bit about into your business and how that transpired from an idea to an actual business, and then maybe how where you live influences your business.
Okay. Well, initially I had a love of handcrafted soaps, handcrafted products, and natural products. So I'd go around to different farmers markets and, sample, smell everything, buy a variety of different things. People would say, well, what would you like for a gift? And I said, oh, handcrafted soap, something that's perishable. You have something that's natural. And then my daughter bought me a soap making kit for Christmas one year, and I kind of got hooked. I thought, oh, this is great. I can make some, variety of different things. And I thought, well, that's just basic. What else can I do? And I saw on a local TV channel making soap using lye, like, the more like, I think it was a hot process method at the time. And I thought, oh, that looks not too bad. I'll try that. So I started making some soap, trying different things, giving it away to friends. Next thing I know, more people were saying, yeah, I wouldn't mind a bar. And it kind of slowly grew into a business. So I started that and I thought, well, okay, so soap. And what about deodorant? So I started doing some deodorant. Like one passion leads to something else. You think, well, this would be nice and this would be nice. People would start asking me different things. So it slowly started to grow into a variety of handcrafted natural products, the soap, deodorants. I did some cleaning supplies using organic soap berries. And I have a lot of commercial cleaners using the cleaners that I make. So I use a lot of local products as much as I can too. And so I get inspired by one idea. I make a lot of beer, wine, and cider soap. And so I'm supplied with some ingredients, natural ingredients, the apple pumice that they use when making fruit wine. So what I do is I dry that like a fruit leather and then grind it so it's more textured to put into a soap. So all those different things like the different flavors of fruit wine are really inspiring as well. And then from a local lavender farm, I pick up some lavender. So one thing grows into, the next. And then a few years ago, I was working, doing some research at the local economic development for a business, another business idea I had. I've been working as a professional organizer for many years, and I was looking into something else as well. But while I was there investigating that other business, this was still a hobby at the time. I was at the local economic development office, and I was asked if I was interested in being a mentor for a summer student. So I did spend the summer mentoring the student. Her name's Jessica Correa, and she runs this Random Act of Green. It's a social enterprise that encourages green behavior in people, like encouraging like daily actions and how to, just improve your life, taking small steps. And so the more that time I spent with her in helping her with her business, she in turn inspired me to move forward in my business. So not only natural products I've been focusing on, but natural sustainable products and packaging. A lot of my soaps and shampoo bars don't have much in the way of packaging. Some are bulk with a separate ingredient card. My deodorants come in glass refillable bottles. And you can actually get a refill bottle and refill it yourself, or bring it back to me and I'll refill it for you. So just environmentally friendly ways to do things. And I think basically if it was just left up to me, I would have just kind of continued with the natural bent and not so much with the environment. But the more you get talking to other people, you get inspired by what they're doing, and the people that, you know, you end up networking with and spending time with and sharing ideas. And it's just one thing leads to another.
That is fascinating. And you know, when you think about or talk to people about natural ingredients, that sustainability and that packaging conversation just goes with it.
Right.
It goes hand in hand. So
They go hand in hand. And I think too, in inspiring my line of products, it's just because I think, well, what can I replace in my own life? So everything that I make are things that I personally use or family members use. Like there's so many different scents that I make, so we all like different scents. But then I expanded a little more through, you know, Jessica's inspiration and other Canadian companies and what people are doing. And so I brought in more complementary type products. Like I'm getting into like the Canadian made toothpaste tablets and plastic-free dental floss with, you know, the plant-based, you know, floss, like different things that just kind of go hand in hand. Because once you start down that road and you look and say, okay, I'm replacing my shampoo, I'm replacing my body wash, I'm replacing the conditioner, then you think, okay, well, I still have that tube of toothpaste. So what else can I do, right? How can I start replacing things in that bamboo toothbrush? And, you know, and if I can support Canadian and support local, then that's a win-win, right? Like, you know, they say like the 100-meal diet, whatever you can do within a short distance of your home, right? Without having to travel too far.
Yeah. Well, and that was such a huge part of what attracted me to reach out to you for an interview. So one of your products, your deodorant, was in the Canadian beauty box that I received because I buy it as the subscription. And I am a tough cookie when it comes to deodorant because I'm so active and TMI, super sweaty person. And I find it really tough to find a natural deodorant that can just put on in the morning and I'm good till night. And I will tell you, Sherrie, your deodorant blew my mind because I put it on in the morning and I didn't think about it at all. And I did a bit of I tested it out. So I had just a regular day where I just, you know, sedentary, where I was at work and just came home, made dinner, did the usual. I did have a day where I did a track run after work. And then I had another day where I ran like the trails for 12 plus K. And I didn't stink. And that's a huge deal for me. Like I was blown away.
Well, I'm glad it worked. And it was bergamot lime too, I believe. So it wasn't a really strong scent. So it's good to know that that worked. Some of my customers like the unscented, they find that works. I don't find that the unscented for myself is as good. I actually find that what's more effective for me is a cream deodorant that I use. A lot of people don't like applying it with their fingers, but I find it's very moisturizing. So you can actually just, you know, as long as you're applying it to clean armpits, then you can just wipe it on your hands after, and it's kind of acts like a moisturizer. But like everybody's body's different. Now, in your case, did you, were you using a natural deodorant before, or were you making the switch?
No, I was making a switch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because sometimes you've got that transition, right? That's, you have to kind of, you know, detox the pits.
I was using a men's deodorant.
Okay.
And so I switched from one day having the men's deodorant off of the Shoppers Walmart shelf to trying yours the next day. So yeah,
that's good. I'm glad that, because some people say, oh, but I still stink, it takes a while, you know. So
I didn't stink at all. And again, TMI, I do have, like, I mean, it's natural when you sweat and you work out and you don't put anything on all day, you have a tendency to smell. And I didn't get that with you, with your product. And you mentioning a cream, I'm very intrigued in that. So I probably will be placing an order soon to try it out. But so I tried your product, it worked, I was blown away. And then I went on your website and just exactly what you iterated in summary, you're geared towards natural products, you're geared towards sustainability, you're geared towards focusing on how you can improve the environment through better packaging. And you support Canadians. And I love that about your website and then about you and what you stand for. That totally attracted me to wanting to reach out to you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get empowered by being able to help other people too. Like I have two local crocheters that are dropping off these. I've never had the ability to crochet, or maybe I haven't taken the time to crochet or knit, like to learn how to do it properly. But I'm, bringing in a line of some creative things that they're doing, and just being able to support other small companies. It's just really empowering, like from somebody that makes, local beeswax wraps, like it just so much stuff goes in with their lifestyle, and so much waste that we can, get rid of if we just kind of rethink how we're doing things. And there's just so much inspiration out there. Like I'm finding, like when I'm going out for a walk, I get inspired, like the colors, and incorporating different colors in flowers. Like I've got like a lavender lilac. I love lilacs when they're out. It just smells divine. And getting, like the scents and just the colors of different things. And like one of my felted soaps, I love felting. It's just a fun thing to do in the winter, and the same with the dryer balls. But I always think about, okay, what's in my walks and in nature and things that inspire me, like the clean water, fresh air, and it's just so inspiring.
Yeah. And the one thing that I love to reach out and talk to creative minds out there is for the people who say that they're not creative or they don't have an imagination. I feel like we all do. It's just to tap into it and then to just let it grow and evolve and just let it be and see where it takes you. Because I feel like there's so many of us that we're so busy in our day-to-day life and we're just kind of on autopilot, and you're just like, oh, I'm not creative, I can't think of things, or I don't have time. But as soon as you tap into it a little bit and just let it be.
Yeah, I think if you let it be and you live more in the moment, like I'm a big fan of like forest bathing, just going out in the forest and to be, I've got the morning routine where I'm going out with the hubby for a walk. I do some meditation. I just kind of sit and be. And I think that's where the creativity comes in. Like I've always had a good, color sense. I've been always, organizing, hence being a, professional organizer for so many years. But it's just like sometimes you have natural creativity, natural streaks of doing things, but there's so much to inspire you just in our natural environment. Even it could just be a scent of something that brings you back to a childhood memory, or just a color, or just it's just so much out there. But we, as you say, we breeze through life. We're rushing so quickly, we often don't stop and actually take it in and appreciate. And that's one of the things I find about, working for myself and having a home-based business, is having the ability to create that life balance. Sometimes it's really hard because being an entrepreneur, there's always something to do, especially when you're doing it all yourself. You don't have a backup. You don't have that team of people to throw things off. I have my hubby, he's fabulous, very supportive. And I have a son living at home that is very supportive as well. So it's nice to, over the dinner table, share some ideas. But, I basically find that, it can be challenging, but it's so rewarding having your own business.
Yeah. So since becoming an entrepreneur, how has it changed you?
I think it's really opened my eyes to what I was capable of doing, and it's really allowed me to grow as an individual. I think I basically wanted to go in the entrepreneurial route. I have a photojournalism and print journalism background. So I've worked for magazines, newspapers, and whatnot in the past. But I found that I've also worked in PR for a little bit. So I found that I've had lots of positions, full-time positions, contract positions, and whatnot. But the job sustainability wasn't always so good. Like there was always kind of a turnover and different things. And I thought, well, I want to do something that I can be self-sufficient. And, 20 years ago, I would have never seen myself making soap for a living and making deodorant. Like it was not something like I want to be an entrepreneur. My thought was I'd be a photojournalist.
Yeah.
When I went to school. So as they say I've heard many times, you have many careers over your life.
Yeah.
Everybody has all these, different abilities. We have all this, these things. We can be creative, just so many aspects of our personality. And I think, it's nice to be able to explore those things as well and not being stuck just to a particular career. And so I think being an entrepreneur for me has been good because it's given me the opportunity to have a life balance, to explore stuff, but at the same time say, okay, there's more to me than just the maker of natural products. I have other things that, that are important to me.
Yeah.
So it's a nice balance.
Yeah. And I love that. So for anybody who's watching this interview, that is the best reminder that whatever choices you make or whatever path you choose, it's not permanent. Nothing is ever permanent.
Right.
So, there's so many people that get in that, they get caught up in all of these ideas and then they end up not taking that first step because it's overwhelming, or they get into that paralysis of analysis because they can't just put that one foot forward.
Yes.
So that's like fantastic to hear that your journey has taken you all over the place and you don't know what the future holds for you.
No, and I don't. And I think like for me, managed growth is important. I don't want to get really big at this point in my life. Staying small is important. Customer satisfaction is important. And having a quality product. Maybe 20 years ago, I'd look to grow this larger company and, have several employees, but that's not what I want. Life balance is important to me. The environment's important to me. Having something left of our world for future generations is important to me, and having a role in that and helping other people live more sustainably. I think it's all really important.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, sorry, go ahead.
Nope.
No, I was going to say a lot of people reaching out to me that they've just kind of discovered me on social media, or they are a customer and they've bought a few things. They're just starting that journey. So it's nice to, chat with different people and find out, okay, so what are you looking for that you can't find? And that's where I get a lot of my ideas too. But then I've also had to step back and say, I can't do everything. Just because I could figure out a recipe doesn't mean that I should. And I think that is a hard lesson for me because I started with a passion. I threw some spaghetti on the wall, saw what was going to stick. Like I knew initially that there was, interest in the soaps and then the deodorant, and then that deodorant really works. Yeah, would you make it in this scent? And it's grown. But from that, I actually tried a bunch of other things to see if it would work. And then I got to the point that I actually had too much stuff. I was getting too big, too fast, too many products to keep up with stuff that I had to step back and say, okay, hold on here, put the brakes. So if I was to give anybody any recommendations, any advice starting out, is to start small, take a business course, do your homework, have a really good business plan. I started the business without a business plan. Don't recommend it. I can tell you what not to do in business. I've learned a lot along the way, and I'm still learning. And I'm going to continue to learn moving forward as I'm doing different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, start small, start with one product and then see how that goes, and then slowly build. and keep doing your research along the way. I'll be in business 4 years this November, and I've done 2 customer surveys, and it's just a wealth of information as to what customers are looking for, what they're interested in, and how I can better serve them.
Good for
So
you.
it's like an ongoing journey. I love it.
Yeah. So what is one of the most, like, what's the one thing that you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur?
Being able to help people and making a difference. I mean, I'm not making a huge difference, but I'm encouraging people to take daily action, and by swapping out just the odd thing. I mean, it could be a simple swap out, like a safety razor. You buy it once and you're just replacing the blades. And instead of using like a foaming can of shaving cream, using like a bar, that a zero waste bar. So, it's going to work just as well, but getting people to think that they can, change the mindset, the same as we would have those, the loofahs, the mesh loofahs made with nylon. Well, now I offer them crocheted with 100% cotton. They're biodegradable. So you can cut them up after at the end of life and toss them in your compost bin or bury them in the garden. The same with the felted soap that I make. Once the soap's done, you can continue to use the casing and use it to clean your home, or use it as a body scrub for a while until it's no longer useful. Same with the Swedish dishcloths. They can be washed multiple times. They last about 3 months. Beautiful colored patterns to them. They can be washed in the dishwasher, the washing machine. You can even put them in the microwave. And so they can be cleaned. There's no bacteria. They don't smell. When you're done, they can be cut up and composted, put in the garden. Like, so getting to people to think that there's other ways of doing things. And like, years ago, I wouldn't even know these things existed, but more and more companies are being creative. More products are being developed, and I just get inspired by what other people are doing.
And if everybody had the mindset that said, oh, well, what kind of difference can I make? I'm only one person. But if everybody thought that and everybody made a small change, we are all making the biggest impact ever.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
So by sharing and you creating products and social media and connecting with other people and educating people, we're not just one person trying to make a difference on our own. We're actually a conglomerate of people, huge amount of people that are making more of a difference than we think.
Yeah, and we don't have to do it perfectly.
No.
We just need to do it consistently.
Exactly.
And I think that is key. Just small little things like replacing your regular sponge with a natural loofah that can be used for a few months, tossed out, the same as, biodegradable kitchen sponges. Or making just small little changes. Like there's shampoo bars out there that are salon grade that are good for every hair type, whether you've got curly, dry, oily, whatever. And they work just as well. And in many cases are actually a lot cheaper because you get multiple washings or conditionings out of a single bar. It's amazing how long these things last.
Yeah.
And just even think of like everything that we've got with plastics, like, plastic combs and things that we're using. If we can use things that are more, biodegradable, like wood, it's just because it's going to go back into the earth at the end of the day. But I think a lot of it is just planning and slowing down long enough that we can actually implement some of these things in our day-to-day life, take some action, and then build upon those things. Like, if you don't have your reusable bags near the front door in your car, you're not going to be able to use them when you're in the grocery store. Yeah. It's the same as instead of going to the drive-through, make the time in the morning to, fill that water bottle, that coffee cup up and take it with you. And then have a place to put it when you come home, have a system. Okay, you wash it out, but then put it, right by the coffee pot, right by the water bottle the next day. And so start implementing some of these things, but not all at once. Like slow and steady will get us to where we want to be. But it's really scary when you think about, climate change and the situation that we're at right now, and the fact that our summers are that much hotter, earlier in this spring. It's just like we didn't know if it was summer, winter, what was happening. Like the weather patterns are all over, and like climate change is real. Like we have to really step up to the plate. Next month, there's going to be a big push on the like Plastic Free July, encouraging more people to reduce their use of plastics or go zero waste and not use any plastic. I mean, that's hard. I mean, realistically, there's going to be still some plastic in your life you really can't avoid, because so much
Yeah.
that we're used to and we use day in and day out has plastic. But just making small compromises. Maybe you don't go right to that safety razor that you just buy the one time and just put the blades, but maybe have a reusable base and you just switch out the top, but that's a compromise. It's a movement in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you don't want to do the toothpaste tablets because they don't have the fluoride, or there's not one for sensitive teeth. That's fine. But maybe switch out that plastic toothbrush and go with a bamboo one. So just small changes that work for everybody's lifestyle. And I think a lot of young parents are now encouraging their kids, and their kids are encouraging the parents when they come home too with what they're learning at school, and say, hey, why don't we do it this way?
Yeah.
So I think there's so much more education, so much more excitement out there about things that we can do, and it's not doom and gloom. I think there's a lot of positive stuff that's happening, and I try to stay positive. I'm a real believer in gratitude journaling and positive thinking. So instead of saying, okay, I'm just defeated because the state of the world and what the environment's going to look like in 25, 50 years, I'd rather think, okay, we can make a difference.
Yeah.
And it may seem small, but it does add up.
Absolutely. So on the flip side, what is your least favorite part about becoming an entrepreneur or being an entrepreneur?
It can be lonely.
Yeah.
Because it's just me. Now, I love to do things like this to connect with other people. I do recommend that if people are starting a solo journey and starting a small business, is to network with other people, like join another association, like local chamber of commerce, for instance, where you're networking with other like-minded people. I think that's really important. But I would say, like, overall is just having that daily discipline and not allowing your passion to, I guess, run away with you, and not say at the end of the day, I need to take a break. As much as I say I love the life balance, and I do find it really hard because there's always something to do.
Yeah.
So to have the discipline and stay focused on what needs to be done and not get sidetracked with something else, it can be hard. And just to say, okay, I don't need to do it right now. I need to do something else right now for me, and to have that balance. So I think that's the hardest, is just to have that discipline, stay focused, stay motivated, and stay connected with other people. So I think that's part of the reason why I want to stay small, is because then I have that personal connection with my customers. Like I answer all my emails. I always encourage people, good or bad, I want the feedback, because I want to offer quality products.
Yeah.
So by able to connect with them directly, and because I don't have a store, I'm basically local pickup. I have a good pickup system. People can come pick up 12 hours a day. I'm not always talking to my customers. So for me, I find that part a little kind of disconnect. Whereas if you had a small business and you had a storefront, then you're meeting people on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that it's an online business, and I'm not just helping people in my local community. I'm also helping other Canadians with their low waste journey, and help in turn supporting other Canadian sustainable companies.
Yeah. So is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out, or multiple people that you'd like to give a shout out to, who's helped inspire you along your way or has supported you unconditionally up to this point that you'd like to make mention of?
Well, yeah, well, basically my husband, because without him, I couldn't do it. Like he operates a business, well, he has a business of his own from home, but then he has a full-time job that with the pandemic, he's been doing from home as well. But he's been really supportive as a sounding board. He helps with my shipping. You know, he helps on those extra busy days doing some wet felting. And I think basically like my parents, you know, they always said like follow your passion, whatever that is, because you don't have a happy life unless you're doing something that inspires you, something you find, you know, not every job is going to inspire you to the point that you're going to wake up every morning and be excited to get out of bed and get started, because there's aspects of every job that you do, every career that you have that you're not going to love.
Yeah.
But I think at the root of it, you have to be doing something you enjoy. And I've had many wonderful careers over my life and my lifetime so far, and I've enjoyed each and every one of them. But, you know, there's a season, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's important to be able to grow as a person by exploring different things. And, you know, you hate to at the end of the day say the end of life and say, yeah, what if I had done this? Or what if I had done that? And both my parents and my hubby have said, like, no, go for it. Like, you know, you don't need a lot in life, but what you do need is something that lights you up and feel that you're making a difference.
Yeah.
And so not a huge difference, but I feel like I am contributing. So for that, I'm thankful that I found something that I have the ability to do for now. And who knows where this journey will take me. I may decide to do something else in 5 or 10 years or next year, who knows.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm enjoying the journey and it's been a
Good
great
for you.
experience.
Yeah. How did you get connected with the Canadian Beauty Box? How did you connect with them and have your product in their box?
They basically just reached out to me and just said, was I interested in having one of my products in their box?
Yeah.
So I don't know if they discovered me on social media or
Yeah.
exactly how they found my product. I didn't really ask. I just said, oh, I'd be honored. I would, you know, love to be, you know, in the company of such great other Canadian companies and great products.
Yeah.
Like they had really good things. And
yeah, very grateful for it, because then it just introduces the country to other entrepreneurs and other Canadian made products. I love that platform and that.
yeah, and it's so awesome that they have the Beast Box. I had one of the spray deodorants for men in their first Canadian Beast Box, which was awesome. That's one thing I'd like to encourage more men, and I'm trying to get more masculine type scents that may appeal as well. But yeah, it's just great to see other Canadian companies that are out there. And it's an honor when companies reach out to me and say, oh, I'd like you to do this, or I'd like to review this. I mean, I can't do everything. I did start initially doing a lot of wholesale, but then I soon found out that as a company of one, you can't possibly keep up with the demand. So my wholesale is limited to like local retail customers in the area. Like I've got a local environmental association and my stuff sold at the winery where I make their beer, wine, and cider. So it's kind of a natural. And so I want to support local because again, you know, the local companies that carry my product, local people can buy from them, and they're not just supporting their organization or just supporting me, they're supporting both.
Yeah.
So again, shop Canadian, shop local. The more we can do that, the better we can, you know, support a local economy or a Canadian economy. And that's like so key, especially now with, you know, the pandemic and all the struggles people have been through.
Yeah, for sure.
Challenging time.
So where can my viewers find you, Sherrie?
simplynaturalcanada.com, as well as Simply Natural Canada on Facebook and Instagram. I haven't really expanded to other social media platforms at this time. But yeah, and if anybody has questions anytime, they can reach out to me via email. It's Sherrie, it's SHERRIE, and it's at simplynaturalcanada.com.
Nice.
Um,
And we'll have the
yeah,
links to all three on the bottom of the
wonderful.
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
To switch it up a little bit from business talk, what is one of your most all-time favorite books that you've read and why?
Well, I like suspense novels. Um, so I'm just trying to think. Like I am in a local book club, which we're now doing all our meetings on Zoom, which is good, but not quite the same.
Yeah.
So it was. I'm just trying to think. I'm terrible to remember names of books. One of the recent ones I liked was White Ivy. I
Mm,
think it was Susie Young is the author. That was very suspenseful. Like I love a good page turner. And American Dirt, Janine Cummings, I think, is the author. So those are two recent books that I've read, and they just have stories that just kind of pull you through and twists and turns, and you're just kind of like, I just can't get enough of it. I find that I listen to a lot of podcasts. I read a lot of business books when I get a break during the day, or podcast, or an audio book when I'm cleaning up after making batch of soap or something. But I find at night, I would rather read fiction, and I'd rather read something that just kind of pulls me right through the story, and just I get totally lost in whatever's happening there and not think about life and stress and other things that I'm doing. So if I'm not reading a suspense novel of some kind, I'm doing a meditation at night to relax, zone out, have a good night's sleep so I can wake up in the morning refreshed, do that morning routine. I'm a real believer of getting up early
mhm.
and getting a lot of stuff accomplished in the first couple hours before the phone starts ringing.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic, Sherrie. Thank you so much for spending time with me. And I really enjoyed speaking with you and
Yeah,
learning
it's
so
been a
much about
pleasure.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
I
enjoyed
appreciate
it.
you reaching out, and it's been great to chat.
Yes, thank you so much.
And thank you. And I'm glad that the deodorant's working for you.
Yes, I'll be sharing it with others for sure.
Oh,
Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below with a Canadian entrepreneur or a Canadian made product that you would like to see on my channel. Thanks so much. Peace.